now time for the main event. Miguel Cotto looking to show he's still a major force at world level.
Good. I'm really good about boxing. I'm really good about how boxing trained Miguel Cotto in my whole career, and I know this is going to be good. I don't know how the people from Puerto Rico are going to remember me, but all I know is I'm going to do my best until my last day in boxing.
Training the best way every day, the most comfortable way every day. Just following every Fred instructions.
He's one of the hardest working fighters I've ever trained, and he's close to Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao is a machine, and you know what this guy is too. I mean, he comes in here every morning at 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. working on condition and train.
We want to finish our career in the best way possible, and I know with Freddie on our side, we're going to do it. Freddie can bring a lot of knowledge, a lot of good things to my career, to Miguel Cotto. We're going to work the hardest possible.
Freddie is a great trainer, and I have to finish my career in the best way possible.
Well, Jamie, how do you see it going? What's your prediction?
I think Rodriguez will start nice and sharp, biggest fight of his career. Cotto's been out of the ring for 8 months or so I don't think he'll be the sharpest early on, but I think as he grows into the fight, he'll start to break Rodriguez down, and I fancy him for a late stoppage.
Jamie, Rodriguez is durable and has been in the past.
Very, yeah, he has been durable in the past. A lot of questions are going to be answered tonight of Cotto, whether he can still compete at the highest level, and I really do believe he will. Believe he can. I think we're going to see Cotto to a mid to late stoppage.
Body shot's probably the key, Jamie?
Well, I think that they're what will break Rodriguez down over the course of the fight. I think he'll be trying to make an impression to Freddie Roach. You know, I think he'll want to go in there and impress his new mentor, and hopefully carry through to the fight what he's been taught in the gym, and do a number on Rodriguez. I definitely think that if Cotto is still the fighter he was, which he probably is, you know, he has been in tough fights over the last few years, but I think he's still got one last big go in him, and I think he'll look impressive.
Right, time to head over to the fight we've all been waiting for. Cotto on his way to the ring. Here's Richie Woodall, and first Andy Clark.
Well, there's a lot of love for Miguel Cotto inside the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Huge Puerto Rican population who will all be cheering him on. He's a fighter who is universally admired, universally loved. He's got everything that you look for in a fighter: the character, the courage, the commitment, the skills. He's been in some unbelievable wars down the years: Mayweather, Pacquiao, Margarito twice, Zab Judah, Clottey, Mosley, Torres. The list goes on and on. He lost consecutive fights for the first time in his career last year to Mayweather and then to Austin Trout, and nobody would have blamed him if at that stage he had called it a day. He has paid his dues. He has achieved an awful lot. 4 times world champion in 3 different weights. Has he still got the hunger, Richie? The signs are, if you listen to Freddie Roach, are that he has.
Well, yeah, you said it. The signs are there that he has got that hunger. I think, you know, he's lost his last 2 contests, hasn't he? And people may ask whether he's on the slide, but you've got to remember the opponents that he lost to. You know, Austin Trout and Floyd Mayweather, good moving boxers, very fast hands, speedy guys. I think if Rodriguez is going to have any success tonight, maybe he should be following the pattern that they boxed to against Cotto, because if you stand in front of this fella toe-to-toe, there's only one winner. He really is awesome when it comes to short and mid-range boxing.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Amway Center here in Orlando, Florida, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. La República Dominicana contra Puerto Rico. The main event, 12 rounds in this special attraction in the super welterweight division. Presented by Cotto Promotions in association with Bob Aram's Top Rank Promotions and Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Sponsored by Tecate Cerveza con Carácter. Sanctioned by the Florida State Boxing Commission. The executive director is Cynthia Heffron. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside of the 10-point must system. From Miami, Florida, Rich Green. From Delray Beach, Florida, Michael Pernick. And from Bradenton, Florida, Mike Ross. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Frank Santor Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready, the fighters are ready. Dominicanos, Boricuas, dile al mundo, Orlando, Florida, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks trimmed in blue and silver, he weighed in officially 154 pounds even. This veteran professional brings an outstanding record that stands at 28 victories, 6 defeats, 3 draws, and 16 wins, coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, by way of Santiago de los Caballeros, la República Dominicana. Here's a former 2-time world title challenger, Delvin, El Peligro Rodriguez. And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red, trimmed in white and teal, he weighed in 153 1/4 pounds. This 41-fight veteran brings 37 victories, just 4 defeats, 30 big wins, coming by way of knockout. The former 4-time 3-division world champion, el hijo de Caguas, el orgullo de Puerto Rico, Miguel Ángel Cotto.
Unbelievable reception for Miguel Cotto inside the Amway Center. Everybody is here to see him. They released more tickets on Monday.
All instructions to dress room. We know the rules. His trunks are right where they're supposed to be. Yours are a little high. Let's keep your blows on. These belt lines are above, gentlemen. If I say break, break. Take a step back. Questions? Questions? Good luck, guys.
Well, Delvin Rodriguez has described this as now or never. This is an opportunity that he's been given and that he has to make the most of it. He's challenged for world titles twice, for the IBF welterweight title, losing to Isaac Batshuayo, and for the WBA light middleweight title, losing to their common opponent, Austin Trout. It's been a case of back to the old and in with the new for Miguel Cotto, back to Top Rank where it all began. In with the new in Freddie Roach. He does have a home in Orlando. He has had training camps here, but he's taken himself off to the wild card, 7 weeks in Los Angeles. Roach on Thursday in the press conference, the final one before the fight, thanking Cotto for the best training camp he's ever had. And one tactic that Freddie Roach was happy to admit that they were looking for right from the start, Richie, was to get him back fighting in close and working to the body, and that was something he feels has been missing from him in recent times.
Yeah, in his early days, his body punching with combinations was really exceptional, and he's probably just lost that of late. So yeah, he wants him to get him back to basics, work that body with the combinations. But very interestingly here, Rodriguez, before the contest, saying that he wants to box from the centre of the ring and he's not going to be pushed back. But straight away, Cotto is on the front foot, looking to force the fight and hunt his opponent down. So Rodriguez is just changing his game plan right from the word go, if you like, because he is being pushed back early on.
Well, that is what he said all along, that he needs to keep it at distance, not get backed up against the ropes, because that's where the real danger comes in. Roach saying as well that when he trained Manny Pacquiao to take on Cotto, that was absolutely what they knew they had to avoid, that left to the body, fighting on the inside. Cotto, though, does have miles on the clock. He's been in some savagely bruising encounters.
See, that's good work from Cotto. He's not neglecting his own jab, working that double jab, just to close that gap down, and then he'll switch to the body. He's a very good boxer himself, Cotto. Works well behind his jab when he gets it going, but he knows on the inside that's where he's strong, but he's got to close that gap down, and it's behind that jab is the way he's doing that.
Rodriguez coming into the fight off the back of 2 stoppage wins against George Taduanipa and also Freddie Hernandez, as opposed to 2 losses for Cotto, but the opponents are quite simply not in anything like the same class. And as discussed in the studio, Cotto has done as well against Mayweather, if not better than anybody else in recent times.
This is a positive round for Cotto here, Andy, the way he's working to the body. Rodriguez is just letting him on the inside, making mistakes here, Rodriguez. Positive round for Cotto.
Cotto looking to fire away to that midsection, to that rib cage. He is the taller man in there, Rodriguez. According to the tailor, the tape was just 2.5 inches in it. Having seen them standing next to each other, I'm not sure about that. It seems to be a bit more than that to me. Cotto has said that he sees himself having a couple more fights, maybe. Already talk, even before this fight was close to getting into the ring, that Saul Alvarez could be on the radar next for him. Rodriguez is hoping to upset those plans. Firmly believes his trainer, a former heavyweight himself, has been in the ring. He knows how hard it is in there, but he got through that opening 3 minutes. Rodriguez looked a little tense whilst he was making his walk to the ring. Understandable. We saw some pictures of Cotto backstage earlier on, sitting back in a chair with his legs crossed, looking supremely relaxed, and that's what you get when you've been down this road so many times.
Rodriguez needs to earn some respect here. He's got to get the respect off Cotto, because Cotto's just coming forward. I think he's quite confident that he can take the shots from Rodriguez. The jab is slow, it's not hard, and Cotto knows he can walk through that shot, and he looks so confident, Miguel Cotto, coming forward, and he's starting to land with some good punches now.
Well, that's a really good point. I mean, at times people have said that he doesn't always do that well against taller fighters. You think about Margarito the first time round, you think about Austin Trout, but if Rodriguez can't establish that jab and keep him at bay, then really it doesn't count for anything.
But with a fighter like Austin Trout, he's good on his feet, he's got fast movement. You know, here Rodriguez is quite slow. He's a bit like a rabbit in the headlights at the moment. He's waiting for the attacks from Cotto, and he cannot cope. And this is Cotto's fight down to a T, especially on the inside.
Just walking Rodriguez down, who's trying to stay out of the way at the moment, and it's not proving to be a particularly easy thing to do. In the Dominican Republic now, set up in Danbury, Connecticut.
See, the problem for Rodriguez here, that wasn't a bad right uppercut from him, but eventually these body shots are going to take their toll. He's going to start to slowly break him downstairs. Again, good left up to the body. He's got to bring that right uppercut into play here, Rodriguez.
Again, Cotto just trying to back him up onto the ropes, and as you say, there really isn't anywhere for Rodriguez to go at the moment. He can't find any respite, and that was a sickening left hand. He's come back with a right of his own, but he just cannot keep Miguel Cotto off, which has been a familiar story for lots of his opponents down the years.
Yeah, there's no respect from Cotto at all. He's confident he can walk through his opponent. Rodriguez has got to try and concentrate in staying with the centre ring, or he's got to stay off the ropes. If he's on the ropes, then the feet look come square just as they are there. Then he becomes open, and that's Cotto's territory all day long.
Nice left hand, short left hand, maybe just sneak through the guard. Rodriguez took a hard punch there right at the end of the second round, and Cotto was closing in for the kill, and the bell came at just the right time. Well, there was the finish to the round. Right followed by left Richie, and he was in big trouble here.
Yeah, right at the end of the round. Good right hand over the top from Cotto, and it was a good job that the bell came when it did, because I think he was hurt there. Great round for Cotto.
Well, he's really been pouring the pressure on, slight marking up below the left eye of Delvin Rodriguez, and he already looks a little bit heavy-legged, a little bit stiff-legged in there. I'm not absolutely sure that this is going to last very much longer. He's already scored
a
lot of knockouts in his career so far, and referee Frank Santor jumps in and has waved this one off. And Miguel Cotto comes back with a win. He had a nightmare year in 2012, 2 big fights, 2 defeats, and we wondered whether we'd seen the last of him. Well, we've got our answer. 2013 may be a better year. He's taken his time in coming back. He's worked so very hard with Freddie Roach. Getting up at 5 AM, 3 hours of strength and conditioning in the mornings, boxing in the afternoons. He's travelled away from home for the camp. The hunger is still there, the desire is still there. And Delvin Rodriguez tonight, I'm afraid, was just out of his depth.
Well, the writing was probably on the wall, wasn't it, at the end of the second round with that big right hand over the top. He showed that he was hurt there, Rodriguez, and then Cotto, with his experience, knew it was only a matter of time, and he just moved in here, and then here comes this big left hook. There it is there. It was a right hand to the body, then the left hook to the head that did the damage, and the referee then just called it off, and he's probably right to do that. But watch this right hand to the body, and then the left hook to the head. The right hand hits the arm, but it's the left hook that did all the damage. Super shot from Cotto. He's back with a bang.
And he lands another one here, just as he's crumpling down onto the ropes, and Frank Santor very quick to get in and wave the fight over. Rodriguez prone on the canvas, looking up at him, doesn't really put up any kind of a protest, and that was explosive from Miguel Cotto. And what for him now? He doesn't want to go down to 147. He's made that clear. He's just not interested. He said he would rather go up and fight Sergio Martinez. The opponent everybody's talking about, of course, is Saul Alvarez, and people like to make quite a big thing of the supposed size difference when they get into the ring. Does that make a difference or not?
It makes a difference if you allow your opponent to climb all over you. Yeah, but obviously against Mayweather, the size difference didn't make a difference at all, did it? For Saul Alvarez, he was probably 12 or 13 pounds heavier than Mayweather, but because Moved, hit and moved with speed, then it didn't come into play. If, on the other hand, you stand toe-to-toe with your opponent, and your opponent's a lot heavier than you, if he's leaning on you, yeah, then it can have an effect. But, yeah, that would be a great fight. Saul Alvarez versus Cotto. I think everyone would want to see that fight.
Puerto Rico up against Mexico. Cotto having come back from consecutive losses, Alvarez having just suffered the first loss of his career. It would be a money spinner, there's no doubt about that. And I think boxing fans, no disrespect to Delvin Rodriguez whatsoever, will be glad that Miguel Cotto is back. He's always been a joy to watch.
Well, I think, Andy, as well, Rodriguez has never really fought at the level of Cotto, and it showed tonight. In the opening round, the way Cotto came out so confident, it was a great finish.
The end comes officially. 2 minutes, 42 seconds. Round number 3. Referee Frank Santor Jr. puts a halt to the contest. For your winner by TKO victory, Miguel Cotto.
Well, Cotto, in his 42nd fight, Jamie, looked as good as ever, didn't he?
He did. He looked very impressive. Looks like the wrestler's done him good, and also the switch to trainer, which we spoke about earlier, looks like he's done in the world of good. Massive fights now to look forward to, and it looks like he's coming into the form of his career.
Cotto did look a little bit different in there, didn't he? He adapted his style a little bit, Ryan.
Yeah, he had a bounce in his step. What impressed me
his
most...
His left a little bit lower than usual.
His left was a little... Yeah, he just looked more relaxed than I've ever seen him before. He looked comfortable what he was doing. He was very in control straight away from the off. Rodriguez was straight on the back foot, realised how strong Cotto was, and he did his best to get out of the way. But what impressed me was how relaxed Cotto was.
Cotto did look good, but in fairness, was Rodriguez's style made for him a little bit, Jamie?
His style was made for him, and obviously was a level below a couple of levels probably below what he's been used to fighting. But you'd expect someone of Cotto's experience and capabilities to do that sort of job on him, and if he didn't do that, we'd sort of be questioning where he would go from here. So yeah, very impressive.
He started so fast, Cotto, didn't he? Full of confidence.
Yeah, he jumped on him straight away. It worked the body. I mean, I think that was probably the game plan from Freddie Roach. Work his body straight away, and he was hunting him. Chucked a few body shots like our friend Ricky Hatton in there. We mentioned that a few times, but he just hunted him down, cut him off, didn't let him escape. He was on him. He was on him straight away in every part of the ring.
We was talking him during the fight, and we were saying that, you know, going to the body like he was doing, as the fight progressed, he'd probably start to take effects, and then as his arms come down, then he'd switch it up. But I certainly didn't think he'd get him out of there that quick. It was good stuff.
And a great finish. Cotto's always had a wonderful left hook, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he's a left-handed orthodox, so obviously his left side is going to be his best side. As Ryan just mentioned, then he sort of was starting from outer range and stepping in fast, you know, getting his feet in quick and launching that left hook downstairs. It was a beautiful shot. Do
you think he'll stay with Freddie Roach and work on some new things, working forwards?
I don't see why not. I think it's worked really, really well from there. Like I say, he looked relaxed. He looked in control straight away. He looked confident in what he was doing. He looked like he was trying new things. It looked like he'd changed his style a little bit. He looked confident in that. So I don't see why not. He should stay with Freddie Roach. I think they built a good relationship up.
Do you think he can become a world champion again? They were talking there in commentary a little bit about Saul Canelo Alvarez, which would be a mouth-watering fight at light middleweight if Alvarez stays down at light middleweight.
Yeah, I think Alvarez would be a great, stylistically match up really well. I think Martinez, I still believe Martinez can make 154.
Sergio Martinez, the middleweight champion.
Yes, the middleweight champ. And I think Martinez isn't as big as Alvarez, so I think that'd make a better matchup. And Martinez is probably there for the taking, so Cotto could become a 4-division champ then.
That might make sense, mightn't it? Because Sergio Martinez is looking for big paydays. If he came down to 154, light middleweight, and impressed against Cotto, it would potentially set up a Mayweather fight for him.
Yeah, definitely. And Martinez has been up at middleweight for 2 years now, I think it is, 3 years, whatever it is. But he's always said he can go back down to light middleweight and make the weight comfortably. So I think Cotto probably needs another fight at probably the next level, just to, you know, let's see what he's got. Let him go into round 6, round 7, round 8. Let's just see a little bit more of Cotto, a little bit more of what he's been practising in the gym with Freddie Roach. But I think there's some great fights out there for Cotto.
Jamie, is there anyone in particular you'd like to see him fight next before a possible world title fight?
I don't agree. Well, I think maybe one fight just to get a little bit more used to Freddie Roach, as Ryan said, but I'd like to see him in there now with Alvarez. I wouldn't like something to happen and for that fight not to happen because one of them loses or, you know, they go the different directions. I think Alvarez or Martinez next. I'd love to see that. There's
the problem as well, though, isn't there? Top Rank and Golden Boy don't particularly get on. They're both with rival camps. Could that fight be made?
I'm not sure about that. I think a good fight out there is the former IBF champion, K9 Brundage. I think that'd be a great fight. You know, obviously K9 Brundage was IBF world champion last year, so I don't see why that fight could not be made, and then we would see a lot more of what Cotto's got.
Well, there's plenty more exciting boxing action to look forward to on Sky Sports. We start with a special edition of Ringside this Thursday from the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, 6 p.m. on Sky Sports 2, as we build up to the magnificent fight next weekend between Mexican legend Juan Manuel Marquez and the unbeaten American Timothy Bradley. And that show also features a world featherweight clash between Orlando Cruz and Orlando Salido. We're live the early hours of next Sunday morning from 1:30 a.m. on Sky Sports 1. And the international run continues the following week with a potential fight of the year between battle-hardened warriors Mike Alvarado and Ruslan Provodnikov. That one Sunday, October the 20th, 2 a.m. on Sky Sports 2. Well, that's all we've got time for. My thanks to Jamie and to Ryan as Miguel Cotto gets back to winning ways and keeps his dreams alive.